Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Pastor Ben.
It is Thursday.
That is correct. Thursday, February 12.
Yeah, are you all set for Valentine's Day?
Whew, we got a couple days, but
The answer is no.
no. Right now, the objective is to make sure the kids get all their candies properly labeled. with
No, I meant for your
everybody's
wife. I
name.
don't mean the kids.
I know, but that's the stress right
Kids are
now.
just, yeah.
You gotta get. Oh, you wouldn't believe the stress that goes into that.
Right, it's just like Easter
Getting-
baskets, right?
Yeah, trying to get all of that written correctly and get that sent
All
in.
I got was a box of those chalky hearts that said stuff like "Be mine."
Yeah, but a letter would be faded off.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
That's as good as it got, you know.
yeah.
Back in and of course we always had a Valentine's Day party in grade school
Yep.
where you had to go buy the little, the little Valentines and write each kid's name on
That's
it.
what I'm. Yes.
That kinda
kind of
stuff.
thing.
But I was
Yes.
really saying, are you all set to do something
Because
for Kira?
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes.
Yes. So we don't do a ton.
Okay.
We keep it pretty minimal, but just having a little bit of time there.
That's good.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Maybe chocolate, maybe something like that.
There you go.
You know, that kind of thing. That's where we're at.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and hope nobody's super sick or anything.
Yeah, right. Right. You
Um,
never know at your house.
If that, I know. It's we'll just hope for all of that to go
Right.
well. How about you?
All set.
All set, huh?
Yep. Yep. Mail ordered some stuff. It all came in. It's hiding in my dresser.
That's right.
Valentine's Day.
Very
We're
good.
we're rolling.
Very
And,
good.
I did give one early Valentine's present, and it's a sweatshirt that I gave her a couple of days ago, and it was embroidered with Juno's face on it,
Ooh.
and it says Juno, and then her little puppy face on it. So
That's pretty
yeah,
pretty
I
clever.
I didn't want to hold on to that. I have one other thing, one other gift up my sleeve, but
Yes.
gave that one early
Yes.
for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So.
Or an early one.
An early one, yeah. Throw her off the
Yeah, so she thinks it's all
done.
done.
I got
But
one
you've got
more
one more
thing.
trick
Yeah.
up your sleeve
But
there.
speaking of Juno, remember on Tuesday I was telling you about the puppy bowl.
I do remember.
I uploaded pictures.
Do we have a picture?
Yeah, we do. So
Okay.
picture one, let's go. That is from the puppy bowl itself.
That is yes, not your Juno,
no.
but the
Yes,
puppy ball.
this is the fake Juno.
Yes.
Siberian Husky, American Pit Bull Terrier, 16 weeks of age. They're about the same age.
About the same age?
And you can see Humane Society of Greater Kansas City, and so this is Juno 1, and just look at the characteristics there. Okay, go back to full screen. Look at all the characteristics. Okay,
Yes.
memorize that face. Now let's go to the next picture.
I got the face. Ooh.
There's
There's the Juno.
the Juno, the Las Vegas Juno, and
Wow.
that was taken on Saturday after being at the dog park. So that's a fairly recent picture. I'm assuming she will grow into her ears eventually. Eventually.
Eventually.
But
those are some good ears.
yep. So go back to picture one again. You see what I'm saying? Look at the
Wow.
eyebrows, the face, even their
Wow.
ears. Now back to the other my Juno. Like how often do you run into a dog that looks the same and has the same name? Right?
Looks very, very similar.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Juno.
Right?
That's great.
I mean, no offense. I mean, there are some breeds, you've seen one, you've seen all of them. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with the unique markings and seeing all that, you go, and the same name. So
And the same name.
So yeah, so we have currently a lawsuit against the Humane Society of Kansas City. So
Okay.
I'll let you know how that turns out.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see how that turns out.
No, good for them. I'm sure the whole point of Puppy Bowl is to get dogs adopted, and I would assume and hope that Juno of Kansas City is already in at their new home, and
You would recommend a 16 what is it,
Week-old
16-week-old puppy,
husky, yeah.
puppy.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
No problems there.
Yeah.
Juno today is at daycare,
Okay.
which means this is when Juno gets home, she'll sleep pretty much and be chill the rest of the night because she'll be worn out. Yesterday she was not, and she was a terror up until like 11 o'clock last night. So tonight will be a quiet night because she'll have been playing all day. So we cherish those quiet moments whenever we can.
Have some quiet moments.
Yeah, yeah.
With Juno the puppy dog.
Juno the puppy dog, and she's getting her big dog teeth.
Yeah, they're coming in. So have you
They're
lost
starting
any
to come
more
in.
of the?
Yeah, she's either losing them in the outside or she's swallowing them. One of the two. We haven't found any on the ground.
Okay.
But when we open up, we can see
She's-
missing teeth and big dog teeth poking through. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, this morning though, one more dog story. Took her to puppy daycare, and
Yes.
Um,
she getting used to
yeah,
daycare?
I'll tell you what, she hopped out of the car. I mean, she's on a leash, but I make her hop out of the car, and she went right up to the door and was ready to go in. There was no
Okay.
like I don't know about this. She was like, let's go.
So she knows it now.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
That's okay.
And I look forward to tomorrow morning. I have a vet appointment at 8 in the morning. I'm curious about her weight. I'm thinking she's gained another 10 pounds.
Oh wow.
She could be up to 30 now.
Oh wow.
So, yep. And we're only at
And-
4 months of age.
Yeah.
So
And she's not done yet.
she's not done. Like I said, I think we're on our way to 50, 60 pounds on this one. So we'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about we turn to Black History Month?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
This is probably a name you have heard of, and I'm sure we've talked about it over the years. But let's put that picture up. This is Sojourner Truth.
Yes. I think we have talked a little bit about it, but
and coming
but
back
it's been a while.
back to her, a little bit more about her is she was born in 1797 here in
Okay.
the United
Yeah.
States, and she was in New York State, and she was born Isabella Baumfree, and when she turned 30 years of age, she escaped from her owner
Wow. Okay.
and took refuge with a Quaker family. And Quakers are Christian and very upstanding and
Yeah. Yeah.
very moral, and they knew slavery was wrong. And she hid with this family for a year until 1828, when New York actually passed the Emancipation Act, which freed all the slaves in the state of New York. So once she was emancipated, she changed her name from Isabella Baumfree to Sojourner Truth, and she said, and these are her words, she felt a call to travel and preach on emancipation, and so she toured the country, often wearing a sash, reading, "Proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof," and she supported herself with an autobiography, the narrative of Sojourner Truth, and she dictated it to a friend, Olive Gilbert, who wrote it down. She never learned to read or write, but she was clearly very intelligent, had a quick wit, and engaging personality. Later on in 1850, so we're not even to the Civil War yet, she meets up with one of the leading women's rights leaders, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and she added also the cause of women's rights along with her preaching and talking against slavery. And she had one famous lecture on women's rights, and the lecture was entitled, "Ain't I a Woman?"
Wow.
And it caught on. So
Wow.
she moved to Michigan in 1857. Michigan.
Gosh.
And just outside of Battle Creek with other Quakers. And so for the most, and that would have been fairly remote territory in the
Yeah.
1850s.
Yeah.
It wasn't totally devoid, but it wasn't quite developed.
Right.
So she was
right. It's not the same as it looks today.
today. So she stayed close to Battle Creek and continued to go out and do speaking engagements, but for the most part, she stayed close to Michigan, and her family, her children and grandchildren were there. And during the Civil War, she also made sure that troops of color were treated fairly, and even assembling care packages for them. She met with Abraham Lincoln, and in 1865 won a judgment against a streetcar company that led to the desegregation of such conveyances. And so she was a
There's a
leading
lot. That's a
voice
lot. I mean, yeah.
and really a pioneer. I mean, in the same way that Frederick Douglass was, but way ahead of the curve in terms of time. Born in 1797. She lived and eventually passed outside of Battle Creek, Michigan, in 1883, which just incidentally with family stuff, 1883, about a month earlier, my grandfather, my father's father, was born. So,
Wow.
I mean, it's wild to think that even though it only overlapped a month and he was born, I have family that
that goes back to
the time that she was still alive.
Connection to the 1793.
Yeah, right.
Or 1997. Yeah.
Yeah, so quite wild. Buried in Battle Creek, Oak Hill Cemetery, so in Michigan. So that's somebody. Even if you revisit again, this somebody is somebody you need to know about.
Right. That is a great one to take a look at again.
So we just wanted to share that little moment in American history this afternoon with you all. And you ready to go into a song?
Let's do that.
So we're going to go back to Sunday morning at 8 a.m. We talked about this on Tuesday, that we are revisiting the song that Dana did, Dana Martin did at 8 and 9:30, which was all centered around talking about the importance of having serenity in your life.
Yeah.
So let's take a listen.
I've tried to carry every burden on my back, held on to battles, should have never fought like that. But you whisper to my soul, let go, let me be. Now I'm learning to surrender and find peace in the unseen. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept what I can't change in me. Give me courage to rise, to stand and believe, and the wisdom to know what I need to leave. I'm trusting you daily, faithfully. Lord, grant me serenity. I've been a strong one, standing through the storm, but even the strongest hearts get tired and worn. So I lay down my worry, pick up your grace, and I find strength in every step I take. Lord, grant me the serenity eternity.
Beautiful, huh?
It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Well done that Dana was able to put that together.
Yeah, the idea came at the beginning of the week and
Yes.
was able to be formed and
Yeah, they had to write it all up because there was no charts
sheet
for
music.
it. Yeah. So, and it came together.
Yep.
She did a wonderful job.
So thanks, Philip.
Yes.
Thank you, Dana.
And
We
Keith did a
appreciate
lot
it.
too.
Yep.
So,
the song all about the Serenity Prayer, which Pastor Brian talked about, by Reinhold Niebuhr, and I've always had an affinity for Reinhold Niebuhr.
yeah.
20th century theologian, probably the leading theologian. Not everybody liked him. He isn't.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
That's right. Native of Illinois, born in Lincoln, Illinois, and was also associated with Elmhurst College up in Elmhurst, Illinois. And there's a big statue of Reinhold Niebuhr at Elmhurst College.
Yeah, how about
And
that?
our youngest Max, he graduated from Elmhurst College,
Okay,
which was
okay.
only a stone's throw from where we lived back when we were living in Illinois. So it wasn't like, oh, he's going to this college called Elmhurst. Like now it's,
It's right there.
right there. So we knew about that. And then you talked about him being in the Northeast. And he also pastored a large church in Detroit City
Oh, okay.
for many years. And that's where he also got involved with talking about equality and justice for all and not just for white folk.
Yeah.
So really impactful. And, he
Deep thinker and really just cared about the right things.
Yeah,
Really
and-
Christ-centered.
and he had the ear of presidents. I mean, people would call him and want to talk to him. So, but one of the interesting things is that the Serenity Prayer is longer than
Yeah, the typical what we see.
that's really the first stanza of the prayer, and that's the one that, and I came to know it through folks who had worked through AA and doing chaplaincy. I was actually one of the things that I did in chaplaincy was be on a locked ward for alcohol and drug treatment, and so I got fully exposed to the 12-step program within that lockdown unit of drug and alcohol rehab. So I got to learn a little bit about, well, not a little bit, a whole lot about the 12-step program.
Yeah.
But you would know this: God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. But it goes on. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking, as he did, then he's talking about Jesus, this sinful world as it is and not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. So the second half of the prayer is as good as the first half.
It is. It is.
But you hardly ever hear that.
Right.
And so, there's something to living one day at a time and taking each moment at a time, knowing that hardship can grow you, even though we hate it. Trying to accept the world as it is and not as you want it.
Yeah, that's another one that's just
Right.
packed with
Yeah.
wisdom.
And that you may be, the prayer is, I'll be reasonably happy in this life, which is very realistic, but supremely happy with Christ in the next. I really resonate with all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really powerful.
So I was thinking about the first part of the Serenity Prayer, which you preached on, and thinking about verses that correspond to that. And, and I think about, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And I go to Proverbs 19:21, which says this: many are the plans of a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purposes that prevail. I mean, we all probably have laundry lists of things we would love to change about the world, right? Like this and this and this, and I want this to happen, and most of it's beyond your control.
Right.
And Proverbs reminds me it is the Lord's purposes that prevail, even when it is not on our timeline. I wish things were always on my timeline. Make my life a lot easier.
That's what we do.
Things were on
We
my
try to-
timeline.
we see what we want, and that's the only way it can be.
And honestly, when I look at it from all angles, my decisions are always the right decisions
Yeah,
anyways.
sure.
So if it was on my timeline, everybody would be happy
This
with
world
it.
would be a perfect world, wouldn't it?
We'll rename the Earth Ben's World. Great. I love it. But yeah, there are things that are just beyond us, and we might have a laundry list of things we want, but it won't happen.
Yeah.
It's too. Some of this stuff is just too big, and that doesn't mean we don't advocate and throw in our 2 cents and push people in a direction that is a faithful and God honoring way, but knowing for the most part you're not going to necessarily affect a complete change. But that doesn't mean to give up. But
Right.
But just know that you can't do it all.
You can't do it
Right.
all. You can't do it all, and you gotta, turn that over to God.
That's right. And then there's the second part of that, the courage to change the things I can, right? And I think about another proverb from chapter 3 about there are some things that are beyond us, but there are some things that are absolutely within our capacity. Proverbs 3 talks about that very much.
Yeah, beginning in verse 27. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it, when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it tomorrow, when you now have it with you.
So there are things you can change.
Yeah, you can do this, and you don't have to wait for another time. Oh, we'll push it off. It's in your power. You can do this.
It says, when it is in your power to act. So when you have that ability to do good, you do it.
You do it.
And not later, not putting it off. For years, somebody had given my dad on it, and it was on his desk. It was this wood round, almost looked like a globe. It was a wood, it was like staining on a base, and on it was one word, T-U-I-T, to it. So he had a round to it. And the reminder is, don't always be putting things off and getting around to it. And now that you possess the round to it, you should just do the thing, right? I mean, it was a play on words, but he had a round to it
That's pretty good.
on his desk.
That's,
But it's the reminder, don't put things off, right?
yeah.
But as a kid, I always looked at that and thought, it's clever,
That is pretty clever.
but you got to act when you have the moment to act, right? Don't wait until you have a round to it to act, right?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, get around to it.
Yep. So he possessed one of those. I'll do that when I get around to it. So now that he possessed it, he could do the thing he said he was going to do.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
That's
It's,
great. No,
ma-
that's the wisdom here too.
It is, but it's also a bad dad
Yes.
joke. But it was true. He had
pretty
one.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was what was fascinating about it. Just this goes back into the 70s. It was the word TUIT was done on one of those. You remember those label makers that had the raised lettering when you punched it, and then it had the. You know what I'm talking about, right? It was a label maker, and it was a piece of plastic, and you had to turn the thing to the right letter, and then punch it, and then it shot out a little
Okay.
bit, and so it was one of those 70s label makers what just stuck onto that piece of treated wood, the round to it. So yeah, kind of brings back memories. So grant me the serenity of things I can't change. Give me the courage to change the things I can. And here's the last one, the wisdom to know the difference. And it's very true, and I mentioned this on Sunday at one of the services. It takes discernment to be able to live into God's will and not beat your head against a wall because nothing seems to be going your way. And the half-brother of Jesus, James, said this in the letter he wrote to the Christian church. If any of you lacks wisdom, they should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to them. So if you're having a hard time with discernment between the things you can change and the things you can't, you can just ask God for wisdom.
Yeah.
It is that simple. And be convinced that when it is given, or when you pray, that God's going to give it.
God's going to give it.
Yep. Just pray confidently and say, Lord, I need that discernment in my life. I need to know the difference between not only what is possible and what is not possible with my own means, but I also need to know the difference between good and evil, and to be able to see that and discern that, and always choose the right versus the wrong. I mean, that's a part of wisdom. Applying God's word to your life, that's wisdom. So you can just ask for that, and God wants you to have that. So that's one of the few things where God says, if you need that, just ask for it.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with praying for wisdom in your life.
Yeah, I think this world could use that.
Absolutely. So this weekend, we are on the precipice of Lent 2026, meaning Ash Wednesday is next Wednesday. And the Sunday before Lent always begins is a Sunday within the churches that recognize the church calendar, the seasons, is Transfiguration Sunday. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because I'm going to be preaching on that, but there's a reason that Transfiguration Sunday happens before Lent begins, and it's just on
It's
the
special
calendar.
Sunday, yeah.
And the calendar moves based on Easter, because that's based on the Jewish lunar calendar. So if Lent is in February, well, Transfiguration is in February. And if Ash Wednesday and Lent begin in March, well, guess what? Transfiguration drops to that Sunday before, or that weekend before, for that very reason.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk about that reason, and it's not just a historical reason, it's actually a faith reason to give us hope and confidence for moving ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's an important story, not just the story itself, but why it's there is some of what I'm going to talk about. And I think it's something that we can hang on to as we approach Lent. And we have some really amazing music coming in to the services this weekend that will support that message, and my message supports that music both ways. And so we hope, whether it's online or in person, you can join us this weekend. So whether that's Saturday night, 5 o'clock, or Sunday morning, 8, 9:30, 11, all those times are Pacific time. We are online and we'll be in person. So until we see you this weekend, God bless you. We love you. Take care. And Philip, will you play us out?